Hello. I've got which button to press then. I look down and think, what am I doing? What's going on? I'm not with it today. Not with it. What are we doing? It's the news. It's the 1st of March. Happy St David's Day to all our Welsh friends. Yucky da, as they like to say. We're on the Daily Mail website. You don't have to do it. I do it. I do the nasty stuff. Top story. Again, I have not been on here this morning because I've been a bit preoccupied. Harry and Meghan news. Apparently, are stunned because they've been evicted from Frogmore Cottage. King Charlie, has kicked them out, and they've got summer until they've got until summer to move out. There you go. Yeah, His Majesty has cut short the Sussex's lease on their grace and favour British home on the greens of Windsor Castle, and he's given it to Randy Andy instead. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Apparently they're shocked, and here they are at Frogmore Cottage. There they are, enjoying the good old days. Now you see, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And if he'd have been a little bit nicer and not written that book and those documentaries, he'd probably still be there. And then they'd have to find somewhere else to put Andrew. Where is he? But the top story is this. This is truly shocking thing. It's our mate Matt Hancock. Remember? Anne's face arse himself. Here he is with Chris Whitty, which is quite pertinent, really. Here they are. And the look on Chris Whitty's face is kind of explanatory when I tell you what this is all about. Journalist Isabel Oakeshott, she helped work on his COVID diaries, a book he's had out. Well, she's gone and blown the gaff on him. Yeah. Why? What did she do? Well, she's released a load of WhatsApp information, a load of WhatsApp messages, where Hancock ignores Chris Whitty's advice for care homes, because he said, you should test everyone returning to care homes for the vid. And Hancock, he said no. He's insisting that there weren't enough tests to go around. It wasn't, and so it's not looking good. But this is what happens when you put, a psychopath, because he is. If you saw him on I'm a Celebrity, old Matt Hancock, if you saw him, you realise that he's not of this world. He's from a different world, a self-serving world. He doesn't know how to act human. You watched him in that show, and people would be joking, he'd be trying to grin, and but yeah, it's quite damning that of his role. This was back in April of 2020. This is right on the beginnings of the COVID, that first COVID year. And Whitty, again, who was Downing Street's top medical advisor, advised, got to test people. And he said no. But Hancock dismissed the claims, saying he ignored advice, with his spokesperson saying that they were flat wrong. I don't know. Again, the problem with our politicos is none of them are really fit to make decisions like this. He should have listened to Whitty and done what Whitty told him to do, because they're the experts, And he's a mock-up of the message that was bandied around there. In a separate story, when Hancock was responsible for hitting targets, he had to get so many tests done a day. He asked a favour of George Osborne. Remember him? Well, George Osborne was editor of the Evening Standard at the time, and he asked him, George, can I ask a favour of you? can you give me a good front page tomorrow about these COVID tests? And George went, right-o. And yeah. Again, but it's going to take ages for the whole inquiry into the COVID. I'll probably be dead when that finally wraps up, because this is Isabel Oakeshott had a trove of 100,000 WhatsApp messages to wade through. But yeah, it's never going to be be sorted out. Meanwhile, YouTube news. This is a father of three, Duncan McCann, who's head of accountability at the Five Rights Foundation, claims that YouTube has been breaching UK data laws because he reckons that it gathers information on where kids are watching and what device they're watching on when they watch YouTube. And this is for like under 13s. And of course, this is not allowed. McCann said, imagine YouTube as an adult stranger following your child online with a virtual clipboard recording everything they do. That is what's happening every day, and not just doing it with your child, they're doing it up to 5 million other UK children, resulting in an enormous amount of personal information being gathered. Well, this is the thing. I mean, when you go online, everything you do, and here's a stock image of a child looking at YouTube, everything you do is collected, and it's to be expected. And we might have all these rules, but they have ways of circumnavigating what's supposed to happen. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, if anything comes of it. But yeah, YouTube could face a fine of £17.5 million, or 4% of its turnover. Yeah, it'll probably go. It will disappear. You know what these things are like. Oh God. More snow and ice could batter Britain next week. Met Office warns Arctic blasts from Greenland this time could send temperatures in the UK tumbling as deep freeze continues to grip Europe. Oh. A -9 Arctic snap, they reckon. I don't want to know. I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, this is from Monday next week, and here's a little graphic. So yeah, keep your woolies on. Can we stop this now? I'm so tired of the cold weather. So tired. It's getting a bit boring. I'm bored with it. Are you bored with it? I know I am. What else have we got? Here you go. Who wants to see the face of a Wally? Do you want to see a Wally? This is Paul Cooper, and he is a grade A Wally. Look at him. Look at him. Look at his Wally-ish face. Tell he's been staying up all night surfing the internet. Well, anyway, he got a little bit upset. Why? Why did he get upset? Well, he's got a BMW. Oh. And he parked it near his home in Merton, southwest London, on September the 8th. And when he returned on October the 6th, right, about 3 weeks later, he was shocked to discover his car had been painted into a disabled bay, right? And he'd been hit with a £650 fine for it. And you can see, there it is. There it is. Yeah. The thing is, Mr. Cooper, who's a bit of a Wally, you've got to remember that, he is a Wally, is that there were notices up saying that the work was going ahead, and people have also been like leafleted, and he basically ignored it. He claimed that the council, that the bay extension took place on September the 26th, but he claims that they they got under his car and hand sprayed it. And he also claims that they damaged his car. Look at that. Oh my goodness, my heart bleeds for him. It doesn't. So he kicked up a right old stink. Right old stink. Right, so anyway, Merton Council has since refunded Mr Cooper all but the initial penalty charge notice and refutes the accusation it damaged his car. A council spokeswoman said, "We have fully investigated Mr Cooper's claim that disabled parking was extended underneath his car while it was parked in a non-disabled bay, and later allegations his car was damaged in the process of new lines being painted. Mr Cooper left his car in the same spot in a parallel road for his home for a number of weeks without visiting or updating himself on the work to be carried out. Merton Council cannot be held responsible for him not reading signs, notifying residents of the work, and efforts were made to get in contact with him during the weeks his car was parked. Despite Mr Cooper's admitted knowledge and understanding of the PCN appeals process, here's the scorcher of a line. This is the line. He made the decision to pay the fines issued, which is a legal admission of the contraventions occurred. However, at our discretion, we've decided to refund all but the initial PCN. Now, do you see what they did there? They said, well, he admitted it by paying the fine. But we were very nice. We were the nice ones. I like the way they swapped it around. They did the old switcheroo there. Apparently Twitter was down today. It's true. People couldn't read all my wonderful tweets. I'm very, very upset about that. Who wants to know the secret to perfect mashed potato? I don't. This is some chef, and he puts olive oil in it. That's a lot. Yeah. I don't really want to know. Good news, everybody. Data obtained under the Freedom of Information Act in an investigation by the BBC has shown that 729 offenders, and they're sex offenders, vanished or were wanted for arrest between 2019 and 2021. Separate figures from 20 Armed Forces showed that 1,500 sex offenders had changed their name after they were convicted. So there you go. It is legal, but registered sex offenders must tell the police of a change or they could face 5 years in prison. However, campaigners say it allows abusers free to go on to re-offend with a new identity again. I thought, again, this is something that, what's his name? The guy that did the Soham murders did. He changed his name to kind of, leave the heat behind him. I thought there should be rules about this. Especially if you have been, convicted of those kind of crimes. But yeah, so there you go. It's really easy. That's not good, is it? It's not a good one. But yeah, so that's obviously the BBC have got a show. They must have a show coming on about that. Keep your eyes for that. Keep your eyes out. Oh, wait a minute. It must be that time of the year because they're asking, when do the clocks change? Well, remember, it's always spring forward and fall back. Doesn't work over here because we don't have fall, but spring forward, hour forward, and fall back, hour back in the winter. March the 26th, that's a Sunday. Always is a Sunday. So there you go. You can get ready. You can mark that on your calendar. See, I'm a font of all knowledge. I stole it from the Daily Mail website. Oh, here we go. We've got more court news. Court news. There's a lot of biting going on. Right? Gemma Rowlands and her husband Darren Moore got into a fight with revellers at the Fireman's Arms pub in Birkenhead in Merseyside. Right? After she was accused of scaring a child in the toilets. It's not very nice. But yeah, Miss Rowlands attacked Michelle Thomas, an off-duty barmaid who tried to break up the fight. And what happened? Well, uh-oh. Ground control to Major Tom. Have my batteries run out? Batteries are running. Oh dear. That's not good. This is very unprofessional. It didn't even give me a warning. Rotten Max. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Just laugh. Enjoy the unprofessional mess that I create every day. Boink. Good job. I have a ready supply, as if I don't fall over the dog's ball first, of rechargeable batteries at hand. And I always keep a 5p on my desk so I can undo the little battery compartment. There we go. Back in the game. Where were we? Yeah, Michelle Thomas was an off-duty barmaid, and she broke up the violence and was attacked by Gemma Rowlands. And what happened? Well, she had part of her ear bitten off. There's a lot of biting, isn't there? Do you remember there was that one bit of boyfriend's nose? And there's the pub involved. Don't go there. Not unless you want to keep both ears, if you know what I mean. Well, yeah, and Gemma Rowlands was a carer. Yeah, but yeah, she's been jailed for 14 months. No suspended sentence there. Simon Christie was prosecuted and told the court that the couple were described as causing trouble from the start after entering the pub on the evening of November the 11th, 2019. God, it's taken them that long to get to court. This is at Liverpool Crown Court, by the way. Yeah, and her husband, here he is coming out. When she was sentenced, they said he was actually physically sick when she was sentenced to 14 months in prison. Wow, obviously he was expecting a lighter sentence. So there you go. Don't get into trouble. Meanwhile, if you're not in the know, I'm in the know because I have children. You see, I'm blessed with children. But on TikTok, a lot of kids are banding together to strike. They're striking, and they're striking over a number of issues. Toilet access, because schools now have this totalitarian banning on toilet access. They have it at my kid's school. Luckily, it doesn't affect Herb because he's special needs, so he can do what he wants. And because Verity is such a good student, and they like her, she pushes the averages up. She can do, but they have stopped her in the past. And again, this is very distressing when girls need access to toilets on their monthly cycle and everything. But yeah, so they have this very draconian attitude to toilet access, and of course during break times it's almost impossible to get in the toilets because everybody wants to go. So that's one of the issues. So at one school, Warriner School in Banbury, Oxfordshire, on Friday there was a riot, they reckon, and here is the protest. It just looks like a load of kids standing around to me. But they were also complaining at that school about gender-neutral uniforms, which they didn't want, because they were going to ban girls from wearing skirts. So there was, one pupil was wearing a skirt over trousers. Again, this is a big thing now, and a lot more kids are becoming aware that, that they don't have to be treated like this, and they're worried that this could spread across the UK. Anarchy in the UK. Here we go. There was chaos, I reckon. Chaos. Here's some very blurry footage of chaos. Look at it. Oh no. Someone upended a bin. It could have been that seagull, couldn't it? So yeah. School riots. The TikTok riots they do. Meanwhile, a new study at the University of Exeter they've studied. Again, it's the bleeding obvious, right? Have you heard the phrase "birds of a feather flock together"? Well, yeah, it's true. Scientists at the University of Exeter and the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust (WWT) analysed the personalities and social behaviour of Caribbean and Chilean flamingos. The study revealed the complex nature of flamingo societies. Dr. Paul Rose, not Mr. Biffo himself, who is from the WWT and Exeter Centre for Research into Animal Behaviour, said, previous research has shown that individual flamingos have particular friends within the flock. Who'd have thought it? Birds have friends. It's because they're sentient creatures. In this study, we want to find out whether individual character traits explain why these friendships form. And the answer is yes. Birds of a feather flock together, literally, because they are birds. But also, I've always said that people seek out similar people. That's why you come to me, because you see something in me in yourself. You want me inside you, I think. And that's just the men. That came out wrong, didn't it? But they said, for example, bolder birds had stronger, more consistent ties with other bold birds, while submissive birds tended to spend their time with fellow submissive flamingos. Yeah, because they like quiet life. People who like a quiet life hang around with the quiet people. They're not going to hang around with the loud people, are they? And the loud mouths tend to group together. It's obvious. Fionulia McCulley collected data for the study, right? Said, like humans, flamingos appear to carve out different roles in society based on their personality. It's like we're the only ones, isn't it? Like we're the only sentient creatures on Earth. Look, I can't be bothered to read anymore. Let's put it like this. Research scientists state the bleeding obvious, and here are some flamingos. There you go. The end. That's a rubbish story, that was. Rubbish. Meanwhile, she's at it again. Lovely Greta has been carried off. She was protesting against a wind farm in Oslo. And we've got some. Will I get the footage going? It's an advert. Mind you, it's only a short advert, but it never plays the footage. Why won't you play the footage? Why? I don't think it likes the. I don't think it likes the player. Still not playing it. There's still images if you're interested. We could do that. We could do this. Should we just do this? Yeah, let's do that. Here she is. She's being carried off by police. Woohoo! I think she's having a whale of a time. I think she's enjoying it. It's like an Uber, isn't it? She's saying, "Yeah, take me over there, please." But yeah, they're trying to build turbines on indigenous land, which is used for reindeer herding, and they're fighting against it, and rightly so. Is that the Sami? Yeah, it's not right, is it? Where are the reindeer going to go? What else have we got? So we've done that. We've done that. Are you depressed? I know I am. It's doing this. Daft get you down, Daft get you down. Not getting the recognition you deserve. Gets me right down. Well, good news. The NHS are rolling out what they're calling digital antidepressants. A series of apps and web-based courses have been approved by NICE, that's the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, and they reckon these apps are going to help people deal with anxiety and depression, and body dysmorphia, post-traumatic stress, anxiety. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? You can do this all via an app. And so digital therapies, here we go, here they are, listed. For depression, you've got Beating the Blues, Deprexis, Space from Depression, Generalised anxiety symptoms. You're going to have beating the blues and space for anxiety with support from psychological wellbeing practitioner or a high intensity therapist. You've got body dysmorphia, PTSD, and social anxiety disorder. Well, just if you've got social anxiety, you know what to do? Start a YouTube channel. There you go. There you go. What else have we got? Talk about squirrels. I joked about this the other day. Right. Exmoor Squirrel Project, which is seeking to eradicate grey squirrels on Exmoor so they can be replaced by the native red squirrel. Remember I said that farmers could be getting money for getting rid of the pesky invading species. Said that the non-native creatures could be served up in stews, pies and kebabs. Yeah? Who remembers Walker's Cajun squirrel flavoured crisps? That wasn't an April Fool. That was when they got the public to choose a flavour that they wanted back in 2009. It was a competition they ran. But yeah, so the project is encouraging local homeowners and landowners to sort of feeding the grey squirrels, and also to monitor the woodlands so they can get an idea of how many there are. And yeah, you can. The Daily Mail has come up with top 10 recipe ideas for squirrel. It says squirrel is high in protein, low in fat, and tastes a bit gamey like rabbit. I do like a bit of rabbit, but what can you have? And they've done a handy little guide. Look, you can have squirrel lasagna, pancakes, critter fritter, pies, kebab, stews, squirrel goujon, roasted squirrel with apricot salad, slow cooker squirrel with dumplings, and squirrel and mushroom in a creamy sauce. But never eat squirrel shit because it's a bit nutty. Have we done enough yet? I feel like we've done enough. I feel tired. Is that a good one? Try to find a good one. Let's go to Australia. Who wants to see a woman who's not going to get Mother of the Year? Where does it come from? Does it say? It doesn't say. But anyway, we're going to Australia because it's on. I don't know if it was posted on Facebook. But if I can, let's get another browser up because Safari is a bit rubbish. I don't know why. Why is Safari rubbish? Why does it get in the way of? Whoops. Let's mute that and pause it so I can get the screen up. Here we go. What we got here, it says, is a baby having a vape. Yeah. This woman was encouraging the baby on a number of different occasions to puff on a vape. Wow. There you go. She's not going to win Mother of the Year. But yeah, in the clip she's heard to say want to try while pressing the vape to the child's lips and making the little boy inhale. New South Wales police apparently have attended a home in Kempsey, which is on the mid-north coast, to check on the welfare of the 10-month-old child. And they are said to be continuing to investigate the incident. And of course there's even been a social media backlash with people calling her out. But yeah, don't give your kids vapes. Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? Isn't it obvious? I don't know. Seemed like a good idea to me. Well, that's not a good one. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. There's no... where's all the animal stories gone? Do 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 do. Oh, God, that's an animal story. Could do that one. And this was good. Do you want to know? This is Jenny Ricotta from Virginia, right? She is a delivery nurse, and she's used a pottery wheel to show how a woman's cervix expands during the birthing process. Indeed, and it's look, it expands from 1 centimetre to 2, and they know when they can fit 5 fingers in. That's the 5 finger tests. I know, I was there. If they can get 5 fingers in, then you're ready. You're ready to have the baby. But there you go. It's amazing. It's amazing what the human body can do, isn't it? It's amazing. Right, so let's finish with this one. Let's go to the Inner Hebrides on the Isle of Mull. Mull of Kintyre, no. But yeah, local fisherman, Lorne McCrae. He was obviously on the coast, and he saw there's a rocky outcrop called Cairnarburg Beg. I've mangled it. It's a small island which forms part of the Trenish Isles, which is off Mull's northwest coast. And what he saw was astounding. What did he see? Right? What did he see? Tell us, Darren. What did he see? He saw what he said is a massive walrus, and he managed to snap a picture. He was just dozing on the rocks there, and I guess he looked around going, "You look like me," because I imagine he'd talk like that. But yeah, here's another picture of him. So yeah, big walrus. That's it. That's the story. He was just mind his own business. Is there anybody in the chat? I doubt it. I've gone on a bit. No, there's nobody in there. 11 people. It's almost a party. Missing's in, says good afternoon. Runs in, says, hey there. Missing right, says barmaid fights. Well, it wasn't really the barmaid who was fighting. She was the peacemaker. And he said, I feed 7 grey squirrels a day. They're fat. Now, that means they'll be also tasty and full of nutrition when they put them in a pie. That was it. That was the news. It was awful. Killing the channel, one video at a time. I guess you got to drink it up.